So here we are, back into the game, straight in to have a look at these Akuma colours. So, from memory, I never remember playing Akuma much. It's always been against him, so I was, kind of open-minded to what colours Akuma probably has, and looking at them, that's the first colour that stood out. I mean, bright pink. He's an evil mercenary of death. He has to be basically a nice, friendly pink, I would say. So, I mean, it's the most contrasting colour that I could probably choose for Akuma, so why not? As you can see, I'm not very good at playing Akuma, it seems. Not the best player of Street Fighter, to be honest. But no, he's an interesting character to play. He's got just all the little quirks. So it's like Ryu or Ken that I've got in my DNA of how to play. Akuma seems to just have that, but added little gimmicks and stuff, Next colour then, if I'm going absolutely psychedelic, I found in here a brown, I believe, because they're all pretty, block standard colours. There we are, I'm not going orange again like we did with Ken, it's more brown this time, so even though that does come up almost very light brown, I'm going for a dark brown to start, and then we can lighten it up later, perhaps. So yeah, that's our dark brown. I'm doing even worse this game than I did in the previous ones. So I don't foresee any problems with Akuma. Maybe getting in around the effects might be a bit difficult, but otherwise I think Akuma will be a nice straightforward model to paint, like all the Shoto ones, Ryu's, Ken's and all that. You're just painting the clothes on them and not much else, to be honest. The belts tend to stay the same colour, the headbands sometimes change, but otherwise it's just getting the bulk of the paint on, and Bob's your uncle, you've got an alt colour all of a sudden. So we haven't got to the likes of Blanca yet, and skin tones and Dalsim and stuff. That's going to be the real challenge. I did a bit better here, but eventually I fell to the Dragon Punch. There we go. So yeah, let's take a look at the model. There's our Akuma. Yes, there's a lot of effects. So these effects are swirling all the way around in two different colours. They are making it a bit more difficult. But believe it or not, I think the most challenging bit will be making sure I get underneath all the beads and the little Hadouken that he's growing there between his hands. Getting in between there into the gi so there's no blue shining through will be the main challenge. One thing I have to say about this pink is that as I'm putting on the pink, the maybe it's the colour, because pink is a very light colour, even though it feels like a dark pink. As I'm painting it on, I find the blue, this navy blue that's on Akuma's body, showing through quite a bit. And normally that's a problem because I want to change the colour, but somehow the navy blue does actually make it look not bad, to be honest. It makes it a really dark pink somehow. There's no light shining through at all. It's all that kind of navy. So it's not that I'm missing parts, it's just that where the paint gets a little thin, it's just a darker kind of pink that shows through, and actually suits the model, I think. So this one might turn out quite good. So starting on the other one now, so just a quick glance at the pink one there. Okay, so it may look like there's pretty good coverage on there, but honestly, at close up you can actually see a lot of the blue trying its best to shine its way through there. So on this one now then, I'm going to go with the brown. I think the brown will get much better, Maroon Fang brown. I think the brown is going to have much better coverage and it'll be a much darker model. Yeah, we'll see how the brown takes. There's the final effect on the brown. That's the Maroon Fang brown. Again, slight shades of that blue coming through, but not a bad thing. So those are our pink and brown Akumas. Just to show how I was making the highlight for the Screaming Pink, I just added a little bit of white scar in there just to lighten it up, basically. So it's 2 to 1, I believe, so quite a difference to make sure the highlights stand out. So, I'm not sure if you can see it, but the lighter pink, I think you can, you know, it just brings it up from being a flat, dirty pink to now a kind of like a pink with a light can catch it a little bit, you know. His gi is nicely kind of creased and folded, so it's pretty easy to know where to put the lighter pink, so it just looks like the light is shining down on him. Yeah, so basically all the edges that stick out a little bit, really, that's where you're taking that lighter pink. And it should give the character a bit of depth. There we go. Do the same now with the brown one, with a slightly lighter brown. So with the pink here, I was a bit more deliberate in where I was putting the highlights, kind of stroking it onto where I kind of wanted it to be. You know, going over the grooves and stuff, making it more obvious, like very obvious highlighting, which gives that good kind of, it just makes the whole model look lighter, more three-dimensional. And then on the brown, I found that the brown ideas was very dark, even though I wanted to be brown. So with this one, I was almost like, the brush was almost like much drier in terms of like less paint on it, less deliberate strokes. And I just kind of waited for the paint to almost not be on the brush anymore, and almost with kind of like a dry brush, and they call it dry brush techniquing, just brushing back and forth with the dry paint to just make sure that the light bits catch the parts of the model. So yes, so you can see where you've definitely got like a richer, more deep colour on the brown now, because we have that too. We have the dark ones in the recesses and the lighter ones on top. You could even do it darker them again by putting a wash in there. I've also done the same effect on these like beads that he's got around his neck. I've also put a little bit of the same brown actually on those beads. Might even go back to the purple model and add that kind of highlight onto the beads again, because I think it makes them look better. So yeah, we're getting there. Just finished off the Akuma models, and I filmed less of it because I thought it was a bit time consuming to be showing you all of these steps and stuff every single time, because now if you've watched the videos you're starting to understand the procedures. There's no need for you to see it every time. But the Akuma one, I definitely went to town with the highlighting, you know, because he's got that original darkness to him, and I just wanted to make it look a bit lighter, you know, because the blue definitely does. I just wanted the pink and the brown not to be just dull, boring pinks and browns, because he needs to be dark to lighten it up. So the highlighting definitely has improved that model no end. Came out much better than I thought. There we go. So that's Akuma down. Very pleased. So there we go. That was Akuma. I have now got 3 Akumas in 3 colours. I'm actually quite pleased with how they turned out. I know I keep saying it, but it's always good to be pleasantly surprised with a model. So please subscribe, click on the other characters if you want to see some other of my painting videos. It's all going to be Street Fighter for now. And thanks very much for watching. See you on the next one.